Again, when was the last time one of these came to your house and gave you some milk? Probably not recently. Or bread. What kind of truck do you think it is? I would have never guessed. I bet you know now. Ruff, 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 ruff. Sorry, Mac. Yeah. It's the old Mac. That's the Big Mac. Check it out. Wonder what they did carry in this. Well, lo and behold, if you didn't like riding in the Mac, we got another big old Chrysler you can jump in. Billy Goat would have a dinner with that. Yeah, I didn't tell you guys, but we flew in, bought this Gulfstream from Oprah. She said it was getting too old for her it wouldn't pick her up anymore. Get her up in the air. I got it cheap. Needs a little work. We had to fly in, we had to keep the rudder tilted to the right, tilted this way because that wing was slowing us down. It's my pilot. He works for oil. If I only had a brain. Now, for all you Studebaker nuts, here's a Studebaker Champion, and I'm guessing it's a 1952. The 50-51s had that bullet nose, and then 52 they did away with the bullet nose, and it could be before 50, but you don't see these often. And I'll be honest with you, you seldom see the coupes. They usually have four-door, with the suicide doors. When I was a kid, I worked pumping gas up in Brockton at a Mutual gas station on Montello Street, and there was a guy who would drive by all the time with one of these business coupes. It was black and it was awesome looking, and I wanted it so bad. Later on, I found out the guy, I can't think of his name right now, but he was the president of the Studebaker Drivers Club up in New England at that time. This is around 1971. And he had actually bought out a Studebaker dealership in what I think was Somerville, Massachusetts. All the parts and everything. And people would bring their Studebakers there to get them repaired. His name was Sheldon Henderson. I'm almost positive of that. Just popped into the old head. And guess what? Here you go. Now, I'm going to say it's a 53. It might be a 54. But can you imagine? That's 53. And that is a 52. Radical change. But, Lloyd designed these. He designed the Avani too. But this car here, oh yeah, that guy Sheldon Henderson, I got to know him a little bit because I asked if he wanted to sell his coupe, thinking he was some old guy that would say, oh yeah, I'll sell it to you. And then he told me all about it, and I got more interested in Studebakers after that. And it was a couple years later I ran into him again, me and my girlfriend. We went up to, I forget where it was in Massachusetts. They had a 51 bullet nose. It was like a light blue convertible estate sale. And it was a silent bid. You bid and he won it. And I'm glad he did, because at that point in time, I never would have been able to deal with it. And it was frozen. It was in a car garage, but it was frozen. It was I could have never gotten that thing home. And I'm pretty sure this is another one of those Henry J's. And you can see they've tack welded it. They used to do that. They'd turn it into a one-piece nose that you could flip up. I'm thinking that's what they did here. I'm not positive, but that'd be my guess. I don't know. Maybe somebody is trying to build this for racing. Look at those taillights. If you needed one of those taillights, if you had one of these and you needed a taillight, what do you think they'd charge you for one of them today? I don't want to think about it. Old Dodge camper. A really, really, really old camper. And once they get situated, they got the 55 Chevy up on top and a bicycle to get around town in. That's using the old noodle. And would you believe, another Mustang. Guess what it is? About a 55 Ford station wagon, Country Squire or something like that. Got a V8 in it even. Seen a few of these Dodge 100s here today. Don't know much about them. Don't really know anything about them except they says Dodge. This car, this old Ford made it to 1970. Part next to the Ford wagon is its new girlfriend, a 55 Chevy wagon. They're probably both 55s, born the same year. This one doesn't have a plate, so I don't know which one got here first. I bet you they got here about the same time. I do not know what the order is that I'm going to upload all these videos, but I said I hadn't seen a 63 Chevy today. Well, this is my first 63 Chevy of the day. I spent a lot of time in 63 Chevy. Back 1969-70, that era. Again, for all you Corvair lovers, there it is, Corvair 500. Never heard of that race. I guess they got one though. The Corvair 500. Next to it, we got this awesome Studebaker station wagon. I would love to cut that tree out of there because it's not helping it at all. This thing's really cool, if you like Studebakers. Little old Locky. Mr. Ed, that old TV show with the talking horse, was sponsored for a year or two by Studebaker. It's a Lock 6. I know there's people that they love their Studebakers. They'd kill for them. This one looks like it got retired also in 1970. Place has got a lot of Dodge pickup trucks. You don't see them. You don't see them at car shows, not often. I need to get one of these. I think if I drove around in one of these, I would feel like an executive. Wouldn't you? Either you drive around in that. I don't know what that would make you feel like. King? Oh, those flip headlight Lincolns. Lincoln could just never put a dent in Cadillac, that's for sure. But personally, I always liked the looks of the Lincolns better.